Good afternoon. My name is Larian Hart, and I would like to welcome you to a workshop that will be presented by the Air Force Resource Laboratory by Ms. Anissa Lumpkin. I will go ahead and introduce her, and we will kick off her workshop. Ms. Anissa Lumpkin is a member of the Government Civilian Corps, and she's the senior program manager for the Air Force Laboratory Air Force Small Business Office. Ms. Lumpkin oversees a $105 million plus research budget program focused on qualified small businesses in the nation's high-tech arena as a critical source of innovation technologies for our air, space, and cyberspace force. Through a competitive awards-based program, Ms. Lumpkin leads hundreds of yearly contract efforts sponsored by Air Force organizations from across the nation. For nearly 20 years, her experience service has included both active duty and reserve time in the United States Air Force, along with the civilian time in the areas of science and technology and acquisitions. Ms. Lumpkin's career began in 2001, serving as an active duty acquisitions officer in support of warfighter training, common operating systems, and unnamed combat air systems for the Aeronautical Systems Center. In 2009, she transitioned to a federal civil service role as an operations research analyst for the Air Force Research Laboratory. Prior to her current assignment, she was a legislative liaison, serving a 2-star general commander. She assisted with all aspects. I got signed out. Hold on. Did I get signed out?
I can still hear you.
Okay, I thought I got kicked out. Okay, I got an email that I got kicked out. Sorry about that. Okay, let me go back to your bio. Sorry about that. All right, in 2009, she transitioned to a federal civil service role as an operations research analyst for the Air Force Research Laboratory. Prior to her current assignment, she was a legislative liaison, serving a 2-star general commander. She assisted with all aspects of hearing preparation for senior level officials and congressional briefings, as well as analyzing, researching, and formulating official responses to requests from members of Congress, their staff, and the Congressional Oversight Committee on the matters of congressional interest. Without further ado, I will turn it over to Ms. Anissa Lumpkin for our workshop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate being here. Thank you to BDPA for having me here today. Really excited to be here with you. We are also kicking off today and tomorrow our Air Force HBCU Collider Outreach Initiative Collider that we partner with BDPA. So just excited to be here on behalf of the Air Force and Air Force Research Laboratory. So one of the reasons why I really want to be here today to talk to your community is talk about Air Force commercialization. How can we ensure that we are getting entrepreneurs and small businesses, academia, universities to trust the Air Force, want to work with the Air Force, and navigate you through those various aspects of working with the government? I put this chart up here first because there's a whole lot going on, right? When it comes to working with the government, it could be like taking a lot of different roads. You're not sure which way to go. Which direction do you take? Where's the funding? Where's the money? Where are the resources? And so today I want to take you through a journey to try and help streamline some of those resources, show you where opportunities are for funding, where are those lab spaces. And as we navigate through that, you know, our licensed and intellectual property, our tech and business teams, different prototypes, what type of laboratory space and manufacturing, and what other opportunities and markets are available to you. And so right now you can feel like this is your journey, right? You're looking at this where am I supposed to go? Where can this take me? So let's see if we can make sure we can expand on that. So the first thing I want to say is, what can you do initially as you're working with the government? First is understand the mission. Make sure you're being a technology problem solver. One thing that the Air Force does is, when you're searching our technology areas on our website, no matter if you're looking at Air Force or other agencies within the Department of Defense, Navy, Army, other small business administration agencies, we put a lot of our technology areas and our focus areas right there, front and center on the website. We also put some of our research needs in our strategic plans every year. We can't put everything in there, right? Because we have adversaries, but we do try to make it so that you can kind of look at what our focus areas are, look at the solicitations, and identify opportunities that fit within your portfolio. You want to submit proposals that are aligned to your core business strategy and area of expertise, of course, and then take advantage of all available assistance and resources. But you're here today, so I know that you are already doing that. The last couple of things are: build a network of contacts with Air Force and programs of record. My email for folks to reach out and contact me if you have any further questions, even after this talk, is afrl.hbcu.msi@us.af.mil. It's on the first slide. If I'm your first source of contact to get you networked into the Air Force and our programs of record, then so be it. And then our research institutions and universities, our academia is just out there doing outstanding work, innovative research approaches. So foster those relationships with academia. So here's insight into our Air Force Small Business Innovation Research Program and other areas that our Air Force Research Laboratory focuses on. So what we do is, there's problems that come in, right? So our warfighters come and they say, I really need some hypersonics vehicles, or I need some new Batman type technology aspects to wear. And so we break those down into different areas, whether it's some urgent needs, maybe it's something more midterm, and or service core function areas that's kind of relevant technology, and then revolutionary game-changing technology. So things that are going to change the game, to make sure that we are, as it comes to our national defense strategy, that we are ahead of the game, the United States, in terms of protecting our citizens in the United States. We invest in different areas. From phase 1 of our SBIR program, we're looking at the concept. What's the initial idea and concept that you're going to bring to the table? You're telling us, hey, this is how I can meet some of your Air Force problems and needs. These are the solutions that I have. And then from there, you'll move into, you submit for phase 2 proposals, and you'll do demonstrations and prototypes of what you said you were going to do in phase 1. And that's when from there, you're moving into commercialization and transition, program improvement. And the results are tremendous success. We're fielding capabilities into our programs of record. If you look at our aircraft, we have several small businesses and research areas that have started out as concepts or demonstrations and prototypes that are now on our aircraft, because we've transitioned that technology and we're demonstrating that within our technology base. This is my favorite way to show you how we have various programs and resources. It's like a toolkit for non-traditional businesses that partner with the Air Force, or you're looking to work with the Air Force, whether you're a student or whether you are an undergraduate student, all the way up to professionals. Our AFRL-SBHub.com is a great resource to look and find out all of the various areas that you can get involved in, from our Air Force Small Business Innovation Research Program, our partnership intermediaries, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail today, our technology transfer program, our solicitations. There's hackathons that our students are doing, technology accelerators. So just a lot of areas, and all of these resources are free and available to you to make use of it as you will. So I mentioned the technology transfer and transition program, which we refer to as the T3 program. T3 is not a funded opportunity, but boy, do they make sure that you have all of the resources that you need, whether it's for licensing or outreach, that expanding your network. They do tech scouting. So if we need to do some matchmaking and find a small business for you to partner with, or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for academia to partner with, we have folks that are there to help you do that. We have funded partnership intermediary agreements. They are located across the country. They do training and then information management. So our T3 program is almost like a one-stop first stop for the resources that you need to be successful to partner with the Air Force. One of the things that the T3 program does is the cooperative research and development agreements. There's commercial test agreements, various agreements with our education and patent license and information technology agreements. These are all non-disclosure agreements, and so that they are opportunities that are available to you in different areas. Across the T3 program, there's the Office of Research and Technology Applications, and they play a huge role in our federal laboratories across all Department of Defense laboratories. There's 43 ORDAs within the Air Force and the Air Force enterprise. And so what do they provide? They are inside the lab, they're scientists and engineers, management. They provide legal staff. That intellectual property that's one question that I get all the time is, what do I do to protect my IP rights? And then other government agencies and industries on how to work and engage with that so that we can get not only a government application, but commercial applications as well. So these are the different locations for the ORDAs. As you can see, they are located across the country. But however, they're not limited. Just because you live in a certain state doesn't mean you can't utilize some of the locations and ORDAs that are located in other areas. And so one thing that you'll want to do is find out, hey, what's my focus area? And then find out which location within our Air Force is tied to the focus area that you're looking for. And if you're unsure, again, we are a resource that's available to help make those connections for you. So our combined globally as well, there's our Space and Missile Systems Center, and then at Vandenberg Air Force Base, it has the 30th Space Wing, and then also the Combined Force Space Component Command as well. These are the various partnership intermediary agreements. So partnership intermediary agreements, we refer to them as PIAs. They are funded by the Air Force and the state that they are located in. All of the PIAs kind of bring their own special nugget to the table to help working with small businesses and industry and academia. For example, I'm sitting right here today at Wright Brothers Institute in Dayton, Ohio. They have a facility for small businesses, government, academia to come together so that we can meet with you kind of in an off-base location, hold events such as this one today. And they also assist with partnering with small businesses, helping with proposals and solicitations. For our Air Force HBCU Minority Institution Outreach Initiative, we have had great success working with Apex, which is also located in Fairborn, Ohio, Academic Partnership and Experimentation. They have really done a great job helping us with our webinars with HBCUs, proposal submissions, and matchmaking that occurs all year round to ensure that those resources are there. Are there for facilities. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area, the Basic Research Innovation and Collaboration Center partners a lot with our Air Force Office of Scientific Research. If you're looking for sunny Florida, our Doolittle Institute in Florida is instrumental with munitions, hypersonics, strike works. MGM Works in Montgomery, Alabama is a great resource for a lot of what you need, and NISTEC as well. So definitely take advantage of these PIAs. They offer various collider events or summits, meetings, ask me anything events. You will learn something new every time you attend one of their events. And typically, if you register, if you're not able to make it, they will also share those slides and information with you so that you can make sure you follow up later with that. Just some ways to help you navigate through the system. They can break it down for you on how to navigate and work with the government. So one of the things with our educational and partnership agreements is a formal agreement with our defense laboratories. It can be at all levels from K through 12 to colleges and universities. And every agreement is different. Every educational partnership agreement is different. Priority is given to HBCUs and minority institutions. We want to make sure we're strengthening our education systems, serving women and minority groups who traditionally don't pursue degrees in science or engineering. So if you have those K through 12 STEM programs, hey, let's see how we can partner with you to help strengthen your K through 12 program, especially if you are looking at STEM careers and building STEM, new STEM students in the future. It's really important that we are building our knowledge. The Air Force has scientists and engineers. We have K through 12 STEM programs. We can go in and do demonstrations with your students. You can partner with colleges, high schools, elementary schools. There's a lot of opportunity there, so I encourage you to take advantage of that program. One of the things is our CRADA programs. We have non-interference bases and equipment materials. If you want to come in and use some of our laboratories across the Air Force for testing and materials. So these are not things that we would provide funding for, but we can help with those costs that you may have if you have some equipment. And then sometimes you may have more equipment that is better than probably maybe what the Air Force has, and we can kind of do some shared expansion of those particular activities. So across the board, we have our HBCU outreach initiative for Air Force. STTR kicked off just last year, believe it or not, and we have seen a lot of interest and success in working with various partners across the Air Force. And so these are, I just wanted to highlight and give a shout out to the organizations that we have worked with since the very beginning of this program. BDPA, of course, this is our second year partnering with BDPA in their national conference to bring you our HBCU Collider. Our Air Force Diversity and Inclusion program partnered with the National Pan-Hellenic Council in Washington, D.C., and did a full-on series every month for our National Pan-Hellenic communities from K through 12 all the way up to professionals. Are partnering with SBA, Doolittle, BRIC, our National Society of Black Engineers, cultivating the undergraduate and graduate Black students that are majoring in STEM careers. So it's really important to partner with NSBE and the MSRDC, the Minority Serving Research Development Consortium. So what I want to highlight next month is September 7th. We'll have Dr. Kathleen Gilpin, who is with Apex, and she's going to talk about the work that she's doing as the Director of National Engagements. So engaging, finding venture capitalists. The Air Force Silver Program is our venture capitalist fund of the Air Force. what better way to get involved? And we'll have Miss Lauren Tiffin with the Entrepreneur Center on November 9th to get you started. So there are 9 centers of excellence with our DoD HBCU MI program. Each of these are funded at $1 million per year. Here's a listing of all of the universities that were funded this year at the $1 million level. Our Air Force, for the Air Force Office of Scientific Research is the one that runs our research program with academia and universities. But look at some of these programs that we have. But Minority Women in STEM at Spelman College, our STEM scholars, we're all about cultivating STEM careers for our future growth. The Air Force needs STEM students. We need STEM professionals. So I highly encourage you, if you have young people or youth, there's a lot of different areas within STEM that they may find interesting. Even those art students, even those artistic students, we're looking for graphic designers, those students who are interested in gaming. We have jobs and careers in those areas and looking to cultivate that as well. So one of the goals of the HBCU outreach initiative is increase participation in our Air Force Research Source Program. We're always looking for more ideas. We want to make sure you are competent in the areas, feel comfortable with working with the government. We want to make sure our objective is to reduce barriers to entry. With our Air Force open topics now for our STTR program, we're almost, it's like we've opened the door to allow you to tell us, hey, this is what I'm really good at, and this is how I can help solve your problems. So we kind of have a mix now where we have some topics, we call them defense focused topics that are very narrowly focused. And then some that are very open for you to say, hey, this is how you can help us. Our last year, we kicked off our virtual kickoff meeting for our HBCU outreach initiative. We had 161 individuals attend. That's when we kicked off our partnership with Apex to help us engage and educate our HBCUs and other small businesses that partner with HBCUs, but it's open to all. So all entrepreneurs, minority businesses, any small business that's interested, even venture capitalists, if you're interested in the work that we're doing, this information applies to everyone. But we just want to make sure that we have that information out there. BDPA is a premier organization that's focused on nurturing and developing that diverse workforce. So what better way to instill future IT leaders in STEM than our national HBCU Collider with BDPA, our targeted radio advertisements and podcasts, and our monthly Ask Me Anything. We have webinars that are held. And so our webinars are where you can take a deep dive and really focus on your proposals that you will submit. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure you are submitting a very highly competitive proposal within the concept of our solicitations and open topics. And so our webinars really help you get there to do that, just that. These are some of our success stories that we've had since we kicked off the outreach initiative in 2020. And look at that, in just 1 year, we've already seen success from 5 universities have won awards. These are contracts. These are actual contracts now that they have with the Air Force. They have phase 1 and phase 2 contracts. And one of the things about having an STTR contract is if there's work that's derived from their phase 1 or phase 2 contract, that STTR contract, the government can go sole source direct, can give a sole source direct award to any of these universities or any of the small businesses that they partner with if that work was derived from there. So if you come across someone in the Air Force that has funding for some of the areas that you're working on, they don't even have to compete it. They can go VFR direct to you, and that's called a phase 3. So just really a nugget of the various spin outs. If you're a graduate student or you're a faculty member or you are a graduate out of an HBCU, look at the success that you can have with the Phase 2 STTR award as you spin out that company. NCAT has some affiliated company that has spun out and won awards with the Air Force. Our Meharry Medical College, Morgan State University, and Howard and Xavier have all highlighted spin outs from those research efforts. So we're continuing to grow the ecosystem. We want to connect, we want to engage, we want to partner. We have a quarterly newsletter that we engage with our HBCU components and other small businesses. We probably have about 600 plus people that are on our subscribed voluntary newsletter. So just continue to stay involved with that. We want to connect and engage with opportunities. In our newsletter, we make sure you hear about the upcoming broad agency announcements or solicitations that we have, registering for upcoming events. And then we highlight various success stories that we've had. One local company, Dr. Sivaram Gojanini is the CEO of Spectral Energies, partnered with Tennessee State and North Carolina A&T and FAMU, and has already seen awards and success from those partnerships that he's had. He's a veteran in the game of the Ciber and Sitter program. And so him taking that knowledge and then applying it to the innovation that is already occurring at these HBCUs has been very successful for him. So that's something to encourage you if you are working in that space or that area. Encourage you to reach back to your HBCUs or your local institutions and start creating those partnerships and network and collaborate with each other. Here's some of our funded program opportunities that are available to you. Again, I told you that I was going to show you where is the money, where is the funding. These are some resources. The Ciber program is considered our venture capital fund of the Air Force for small businesses and research institutions. Our solicitations are typically at beta.sam.gov for government and federal awards. SBA is where you're going to go to make sure, hey, I'm checking all the boxes, making sure that I have everything I need to be legit and make sure that I am marked as a successful small business or in the current in the future. Our AFWorks is one of our newer programs within the Air Force Research Lab and our National Security Innovation Network. They developed the Ciber Open Topics to increase that efficiency and transition rate of the Ciber program. So we're kind of opening up the door for that. And then finally, our Defense Ciber Sitter Innovation Portal is where all of the Air Force topics for the Ciber and Sitter program are located. That's where that DoD solicitation is, that Department of Defense solicitation. But not just Air Force, there's other agencies that list their solicitations there, from Air Force, Army, Navy, all types of areas for your solicitation. So please stay connected with us. We have a resource guide that is available to you. If you follow us and subscribe to our quarterly newsletter, we'll make sure that we get all of these links that are available to you so you can take the time to go through them. Follow us on our Air Force Research Laboratory. Our website is located there. Also, you can go to afresearchlab.com. Has career information if you're looking to work with the Air Force Research Laboratory. Right now, I know we're looking for psychologists, logistics, electrical engineers, even police officers. I mean, there's a wide gamut of resources and people that we need like you to come and work with the Air Force. But we're located on website, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and our Air Force S&T front door is our newest way to connect with industry. It's airforcetechconnect.org. If you have a tech focus area, or if you're working on something and you're looking to see, hey, is the Air Force interested in what I have to offer? You can go there and put in your idea. and or whatever area you're working in. And within a couple of weeks, we will get back to you with a subject matter expert to ensure we can make that alignment to you. But that's our way to make sure that, hey, we're trying to stay connected, keeping the door open. It's almost like our front door, direct impact to you. Our Air Force Research Laboratory Small Business Office has our website, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Please stay connected with us. We post the various Collider events. Ask Me Anything events are located there. Our Cyber and Sitter office and our Tech Transfer office also have their social media and information there. You can sign up for our Air Force HBCU MI Outreach Initiative Ask Me Anything events. They're held every month on Tuesdays, typically at 11 o'clock Eastern. And so just go ahead there and get registered. Once you're in our system, even if you can't make it, we will send the slides out to you, but you learn something new at every AMA. We have a different speaker. So every month is going to be a different experience for you. Feel free to connect with us on social media, and we will make sure that we stay in touch with you. So with that said, thank you for being here. Thank you to BDPA again for having the Air Force here. Such a great partnership that we've had. I first met Perry Carter out of the Washington, D.C. BDPA area. And from there, we just kicked off working with Terry Morris and the rest of the BDPA team. And you, Laren, just wonderful meeting you here today. But the Air Force, our Air Force Research Laboratory, and now our Space Force is just looking to be an integral partner for small businesses and professionals across our United States. And so with that, I will turn it back over to you, Larry.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anissa, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to inform us about all that the Air Force Research Laboratory Air Force Small Business Office has to offer. This has been very, very informative. And we know you have a hard stop in a few moments. So if the attendees have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat, and we'll have Anissa, Lynn, or myself to respond to those. We have a few minutes to answer those questions if you would like to post them in the chat, or if you want to come off mute, you also have that option. Okay. Well, we will not hold anyone any longer. We appreciate your time again this afternoon, and everyone have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.